We are so excited to share the labor and delivery story as well as share her name because somebody on YouTube actually is the one that gave us the idea for it. Hi guys, it's Maggie.
And Zach. And...
Baby girl.
Baby girl.
We are here today. I'm about, 2 weeks postpartum now?
Exactly, yeah.
And we
it's our 2-week birthday today.
Yeah. Oh my gosh. We thought we would share the labor and delivery story. We already uploaded the vlog of the day of, but I know I was in a bit of pain. You were in a bit of shock. There was not a lot of details being shared. So we thought that we would go through kind of everything that happened. I had a lot of questions about the epidural that I got and why were you in so much pain and, how did I deliver her? Things like that. So I thought we could talk about that. Hopefully I don't talk too much. You cut in with,
okay.
I
got it.
Your experience
I was
too.
there.
He was, yeah.
First on the scene.
Thank God. I got very emotional very quick.
It'd be perfect for this video if we had like the 60 minutes as it's going through the day.
That would be cool. That sounds like a lot of editing on my part.
And so copyright infringement.
Unless you want to do it.
No, I was kidding.
But yes, we're going to talk about how that day went. And then at the end of this video, we're going to share her name finally. I have gotten messages and comments asking what's her name, so we will share that. But yeah, so how did the day start? Started pretty early.
5:30 in the morning.
Yeah. Actually, it started kind of earlier than that because I did not feel good that whole night.
It actually started earlier than that because we thought nothing was going to happen that day. We were expecting to go till after the weekend and just go with the induction as they scheduled.
Yeah, my induction was scheduled for May 13th. So I would have been 40 weeks and 4 days. That's kind of the comfortable spot that I felt. Nobody was pushing me to do that. It's just, I felt like my body was kind of done. By the end, I was not feeling good at all. But the night that, before I went into labor, I got up to use the restroom, I don't know how many times. That was the most.
Because I had just gone to bed at 2:33 a.m. or something. I was getting on my night routine ahead of time and wasn't expecting everything to unfurl as it did. But I go to bed, I keep checking, Mags, you're going again. It's been 30 seconds since you got into bed.
You made a comment on it. You were like, are you okay? Because... And I said, I feel like I have to go to the bathroom again, and it would be just drops. So, yeah, around 4:30 in the morning, I had mentioned this in the labor video, I had to empty my pocket, my proctocolectomy pocket, that, I get discharge in, totally normal, it just collects inside of me rather than coming out. So I emptied it out, I could feel it, I always feel it, it's like a heaviness. Emptied it at 4:30 on one of my many bathroom trips. And at 5:30, I woke up again, turned over in bed, and I just felt that heaviness again. You burping over there?
You're making some grunts.
I felt a heaviness again, and I thought, this is so weird. Why would I already have that much built up back? So I went to the bathroom, and I had more come out. And that was really weird for me. So I went downstairs. I woke up for the day because I finally gave up sleeping. Yep. I think I made coffee or something. And I went to the bathroom again.
Then
and more came out.
6:30 came around. I got up to use the bathroom just as I do in the middle of the night.
No, I came into the bedroom. Because I knew something was up by 6:30.
You heard me and then you came in once I did that.
That's right. And I was getting clothes or something because I knew something was off. And since you're awake, I said, hey... I think my water may have broken.
My zombie-like state, I was like,
You were like, do we need to do anything? Are we okay? And I said, go back to sleep. I will wake you if I think there's a problem or if I'm 100% sure.
Because at that time, we weren't certain.
No, I was just like, I'm having a lot come out of me. More than usual. And so you went back to sleep for maybe 10 minutes.
If that. I was like, I didn't sleep. I was awake at that point.
Yeah, so I was down here, I think, sipping on coffee, and he came down the stairs, and he's like, so what's going on? And yeah, I just kept losing fluid. Every 5 or 10 minutes, I'd go to the bathroom and more would come out.
And thus it began.
And
we were aware.
Yeah, I think around, like, sorry, there's a hair in my eye. I think around maybe 7 o'clock is when I had that one big gush.
Yep.
And I was in the bathroom and I screamed for Zach and I said, "Oh my gosh, I think this is definitely my water." And actually I did start to have contractions around that time too, because I made the guest bed when I thought something was up, made the guest bed, and as I was doing that, I started to feel like this buildup of pressure, and then it released, and I thought...
And that's when we started with the contraction app.
Yep. So that was... It was hard to tell at first, is this actually a contraction? But then they got worse, and they continued.
Then, the most important part of the morning I began was clearing a lot of memory on my phone.
That was the one clip of, like, him in the dining room on the computer. And
my phone had, like, 5 gigabytes left of space. I had to move so many photos and videos, and I knew she was on her way. So I put me into overdrive and cleared about 50 gigabytes, 60, 70 gigs for you.
And then we had to call the OB, of course. That's what they tell you. If you think you're in labor, if your water breaks, call the OB. I kept sort of putting it off. I was like, 15 more minutes, I'll call them. Oh, it's change of shift, I'll call them after. Like,
we were monitoring your contractions at that point. They were pretty spaced, like 8, 10 plus minutes each one. And they're only lasting like 20 seconds.
Yeah. But I knew that as soon as we called them and I told them, you know, I think my water broke, that they would send us to the hospital. Yeah. And I started to freak myself out a little bit. But we did eventually call around 8, I think, 8 or 8:30. Yep. And when I called, I started tearing up. I was out on the deck with you, and I was like, I think my water broke, and I'm just letting you know, what do I do?
Started getting all the dogs ready, got all their treats, made a lot of extra treats for them, the peanut butter filled bones, everything. Got the house in good condition.
Yeah, and we had somebody to watch our dogs for the induction. This was a shock. This was a total surprise, because you hear people, their water breaks, but you hear a lot of stories where people's water does not break, and they have to get it done in the hospital. So I didn't expect that to happen whatsoever. So yeah, on the phone with the nurse, I said, "What do we do?" And she said, "You're going to go to triage." And I said, "Is that at the hospital?" And she goes, "Yeah, you're going to have to go to the hospital now." And we got ourselves ready. Yeah, and I mopped the floor after that call. I was like, I got to mop the kitchen floor. I was trying to make it, as clean as possible, because we knew his mom was going to be on the way as soon as...
Well, you also want to do that, you said, just to kind of get moving around to hopefully help
that too.
Contribute to the contractions and everything, and kind of...
Yep. We were trying to walk around the house a lot just to get things going. So then we hopped in the car, and if you saw the labor vlog, you saw how bad Pennsylvania roads are, and we were... I lost so much fluid in the car that I had to change my pad by the time we got to the hospital. That was the funniest. I didn't expect the ride to be like that, but it was very positive because we were laughing the entire time. And also just excited, nervous, talking about, oh my gosh, we're going to be parents, like, who knows when, but very soon. That was crazy. And we got to the hospital, and I had a lot of comments saying, I'm surprised that you walked all the way up to triage. There wasn't really an option for me to do anything else. Yeah,
unless you went to the ER area, they could have wheeled you in probably, but they didn't say that. And
no.
We stopped any time she felt the contraction come on. Yeah. Just took a quick break, sat, waited, or stood, waited, and then
continued.
Continued on.
Yeah. And we went up to the wrong tower, I guess, or building.
My fault.
I was not listening to anything. I was just trying to get where I needed to go. So we wound up going to the wrong place, had to go down the elevators, find the right building, go up. It was totally fine. I was totally fine at this point. The contractions were painful. You okay, girlfriend?
Yeah, she's just making her sleep grunts.
He's so cute. Contractions were painful, but they weren't awful yet. But they did get there pretty soon.
Yep.
So we finally got to triage. They brought me back. and a nurse practitioner came in. She said, hey, I'm going to check you. So she said, it does appear that your water has broken. Based on my exam, you know, she said that I was 0 centimeters dilated, I think 70% effaced, and baby girl was at 0 station.
Oh, and then she had to do the finger.
Yeah, she put her hand up there, and when she took it out, there was a big gush of fluid, and she's like, yeah, I'm pretty sure. Pretty sure you're right that your water did break, but they have a test that they do on the fluid to see if it is amniotic fluid. She came back shortly after and said, yep, your water's definitely broken, 100%. So you're here to stay. We're going to put an IV in you, and we're going to monitor baby girl. They put the monitors around my belly. It was totally fine with my ostomy. Like, it was not in the way at all. I think, did both go over my bag, or was it one over and one under? I don't know.
I think both were over.
Okay, yeah, so it was not obstructive to it at all. And they confirmed that, yep, I'm contracting, which was definitely a relief because I thought, you know, is this real? And shortly after that is when the contractions became extremely painful. I think because when she put her hand up there, whatever she did, so much fluid started coming out of me. And I think that fluid acts as
the pain.
Yeah, it's like a cushion. And now that there was less, baby girl was able to push lower. Get out of here, fly. Baby girl was able to push lower, and it was like 0 to 100. And so we're sitting there in triage waiting for our hospital room. I wound up having to use the restroom, so a nurse walked me to the restroom. I thought I was going to pass out in there. I was holding on to the bar. I was sobbing. I didn't know what to do. I was miserable, but finally I got through a couple contractions in there, was able to, you know, get done what I was doing and head back to my room, the triage room, and then eventually I think they came and got us. What are you doing, Holly?
Sorry, her face is scrunchy, it looks silly.
I wish you could see her. Hi, Hall.
Yeah, but she's pressing under my legs.
Look at all the fur here.
Hi. Hello.
All right, we gotta stop scratching her because
she wanted to say hi. She's been super affectionate since we've had her.
So anyways, eventually we did get taken to the hospital room, the delivery room.
Yep. And we weren't in the triage room that long. It was like 60, 90 minutes.
It felt like 3 hours to me.
In real time. It was about 60. I know it felt long. It felt, I would agree, until we got cozy up in the delivery room shortly after.
Miserable. And you at one point, I think, were like, do you want me to go out there and see what's going on?
I was trying.
Felt like it took forever. I had started tearing up at that point. So we finally get to the delivery room, and I head straight to the bathroom. And
oh gosh, yeah.
I thought I was gonna die in there. I truly did. So our nurse, lovely, lovely nurse, she wanted to chat with Zach.
And I like chatting. And I was trying to be nice, but I also wanted to check on you, so I'm talking. She kept talking. And I'm like, dying. Until Mags had to make some noises to really get my attention. I'm like, let me go check on her. Yeah. And right from there, we basically got the anesthesiologist on call, ready to come do the epidural for her.
It was bad. I was in the bathroom. There was no toilet paper in there, so I was stuck anyway. And I could hear them chatting about just random stuff, and it was like the contractions had sped up. They were so much more intense. I, again, was holding on to the bathroom bar, crying because there was no toilet paper. I couldn't even get over to the paper towels to use that instead. And I couldn't speak.
No one to spare square.
No. I couldn't get any words out. I couldn't even say, Zach, come here, because my breath kept getting taken away. And so all I could do eventually... I have that effect
on people. I take their breath away.
Yeah. Eventually, all I could muster was just audible crying. So I just went, you came to the rescue. Yeah. I was like, this baby's going to come out in this toilet or something. I don't know. But yeah, we as soon as we were able to get me out of the bathroom into the bed, they said, whenever you want the epidural, you can have it. I said, now, please, call him ASAP. I think he was there within 10 minutes.
He was quick. Yeah. Very, very good guy. Very nice. Very helpful. And Yeah, he said I think 96+% of women in labor utilize the epidural, and it's
I can see why.
It's a game changer.
It was, I was really nervous for the epidural. Once it settled into my brain, like, oh, we are going to have a needle in our back. We're doing it right now.
It's a big boy. I watched it.
I'm glad that I didn't see it. It was okay. I was in so much pain that I was like, I don't care too much. But knowing what was going on behind me was a little freaky.
Yeah.
And I jolted when he did the numbing, I don't know, lidocaine or whatever injection. That I jolted with. He got the needle in. I could feel that it was more to the right. As he did, I guess he did a bolus when he... I could feel a little bit of pressure to the right. Yeah. Like I could feel the medicine go towards the right. Which comes up later. Because I wound up having one side of my body completely numb, which was the right side. And the left side was, I could feel a lot. But yeah, got it done. Yeah. And that helped a lot.
Did the bolus up front to give like a bigger dose to help expedite it. And then... Which supposed to go slowly thereafter, but little did we realize until later on we could press a button the whole time, which we were not initially informed of.
So that was part of the epidural problem, which is why you saw me in pain. But he did the bolus. He said it would take like 10, 15 minutes for it to kick in. It really took, for me to fully like feel comfortable, I would say half an hour. But by that point, I think my dad had arrived.
Yep.
We had emailed my dad on the way to the hospital, and he was at work. So he pieced out of work. And he showed up. He didn't even tell us. I was totally fine with it. My dad saw me through labor and left the room when I was about to deliver. But, so
he was there finally, pretty much through it all with me.
Yeah. Finally got comfortable. They didn't want to check me too often because my water had broken. They didn't want to introduce any infection in there.
Yeah.
So,
which makes sense. I'm kind of glad.
Yeah. So I labored for, I guess we got to the room probably noon or 1 p.m.
Yeah.
And I labored until...
about 9.
Yeah.
Before you started the delivery.
Well, labored... till about 6 p.m. the anesthesiologist said, by 6 p.m., by dinner time, you're probably going to want another bolus.
Yeah.
And that is exactly what happened because the pain picked up insane again. My nurse had me using a peanut ball and like positioning stuff. They had me lean over to my left side. Zach helped a ton with positioning me because my whole right side was completely numb. And because of that, they were using gravity to try to get the meds over to the left side.
And to help distract, we did the contractions throughout the entire time. I was monitoring for hours.
Yeah.
Except for intermittent breaks for me to run down, grab stuff from the car if you needed it, or for me to grab coffee as I was also fading or get you anything that you were allowed to have, which was very limited.
I was allowed coffee, though.
Yeah.
So that was cool. Yeah, and I think around 6 p.m. is when my OB came back to check to see if I had made any progress, which I did. I had made it to...
Wasn't it he was going to come back, but he got delayed?
So he came in around 6, but then he said 2 hours from now I'll come back, and that's when he got delayed, because it was longer than 2.
I think it was 3. 6. I thought it was 5 and 7.
Oh, maybe it was...
I think it was 5 and 7. He came in initially at 5, anesthesiologist at 6.
No, he didn't come back until 9.
Because he was going to come at 7, I remember, and then I kept asking, like, is he coming, is he coming? Because it was over about 2 hours before he ultimately came back because he was stuck with that emergency C-section.
Yeah.
So it was 5 and 7.
It was long. But, he checked me the first time.
Yeah.
5 centimeters. So that I was like amazed. Mind you, this whole time, I was thinking I would need every intervention to get this baby out of me. I would need every med. And I did not have anything.
You were a natural born mama.
I couldn't believe it. Like, I did not expect my body to work so well with her. Like, it's like our two
literally everything has
beings
been
were
flawless for you. You've been crushing it.
It was crazy. It was crazy. So no Pitocin. I did have Pitocin afterwards just to make sure that I wasn't going to bleed. But no Pitocin, no Cervidil, no Foley balloon, none of it. I just progressed on my own. And I did not expect that at all. So
you did wonderful.
So yeah, got the check. It was 5 centimeters. Pain really started to come back. You were checking every 5 seconds to get the anesthesiologist back because I was...
Because we also didn't realize we could just press the button because, again, we're uninformed, so...
So, I know what a PCA pump is. I didn't know that I was on one. And he doesn't know what it is, so he didn't know I was on one. The button for it was placed way back on the bed behind me. I had no idea. Nobody told me that, I could use it. They didn't tell me that I could do a little bolus myself 5 times per hour. And I think that had we known that, I would have been much more comfortable throughout the whole experience. It would have been much more level rather than feel a lot better and then as the bolus that the anesthesiologist did wore off, feel absolutely miserable.
From the outside perspective, I mentioned to you, for me, and I've been through a lot of things with you, I know your pain tolerance and all that, kind of, if we knew that, it would have just been, like you said, steady and pretty much bearable and not, it would have been painful, but not that severe painful where it, forced you to cry, tear up.
Oh my gosh. I mean, the one clip, I told Zach to get my phone out to film it because I was like, no one tells you about this. I guess, epidurals don't always work perfectly. It helps if you're informed about everything going on, but unfortunately I wasn't. And I wasn't in a mindset to ask these things because I was hurting. So that was a little frustrating. My new nurse came on at 7 p.m. and I think she's the one that told us. She's like, you have a BCA. Like, you can just... I said, what? Yeah. So I started to utilize that. The anesthesiologist also...
We know for the next time around.
We know for the next time. The anesthesiologist did give me the bolus. That helped a ton. And with the peanut ball, too, I felt like that was really expediting things. They had me on my left side with the peanut ball between my legs, and... Oh my gosh.
It worked, though.
It worked. Like,
peanut works.
I hated that stupid thing. I kept telling the night nurse, I was like, I hate that ball. It's stupid.
The peanut worked.
But it worked. So, we had taken it out for a short time, gave me a break. I got really comfortable. Like, I was able to chat again.
But that was the thing, like the anesthesiologist even said, you don't want to get too comfortable where you kind of stop the process. Like, you want to... It's a balancing act where you want some pressure, not pain per se, but the pressure, the constant motion, and not where you're going to fall asleep. Like, you want to keep...
And I was starting to feel like I could maybe rest my eyes for a minute. Probably not.
Like, I know, I felt bad. That's why I interjected. I'm like, let's do the peanut. Let's get it, keep everything going. Because...
And I was sort of worried about it, too. So I was like, okay, let's call the nurse back in. Let's get the peanut ball back in. And that was probably... What time was that?
8?
Maybe probably around that time.
Well,
It was obviously before... It was not long before my OB checked me again and found that I was complete. Like, that peanut
10
ball...
centimeters plus.
Yeah.
And they said to monitor for, when you feel, constant pressure that won't relieve itself. And I kept checking with you every contraction... Is the pressure relieved? It's like, nope. Is the pressure relieved? Nope. Yeah. And I was like,
once we put that
we need
peanut
someone
ball,
to get in here because it's time.
Yeah, once that peanut ball, we put it back in, the contractions, just right back. But they weren't as painful because, again, the bolus was on board and I had the PCA pump.
Yeah.
And yeah, you kept asking me and I started to get a little scared because I'm like, I think her head is, I feel it. Oh my God. And it's not, the pressure's not letting up. Yeah. So the doctor finally came back and he did check me and he found out that I was complete. Turns out that there were 6 C-sections on the floor that night and 2 vaginal deliveries, and I was one of the vaginal deliveries. Which just, I felt so bad because it sounded like there was a lot of complications with other people. Like, my dad was talking to another dad in the waiting room and it was an early... delivery for somebody, around 31 weeks, which is scary, but yeah, I think around 9 p.m.
But let's also preface that this was your first positive hospital experience. You earned it.
I couldn't
Everyone deserves it, but you, I think, really deserve to have a phenomenal, easy experience after having so many negative, less stellar
Yeah.
ones. So this was a
17 hours of labor.
Yeah.
Only 12 really spent in the hospital laboring, which just felt like such a win. First baby, so many health complications for me, delivered vaginally.
You did so good, you shot her out, you said, put her back in, I want to go again.
No. We, so, God.
This is easy, just get out.
Around 9 p.m., doctor said, you're ready to push, so the nurse came in, and she was lovely. Yeah. She was so encouraging. Exactly who awesome. I wanted. Like, it's the exact personality of.
You made a good team, the nurse and I.
Yes, because they were both, on each side, lifting a leg up. We were trying different positions to push.
9 p.m. came around, and then thus began the 90 minutes of actual laboring.
No, pushing.
Oh, sorry, pushing.
Yeah. Which was the least painful part. Like, it felt so good to just try and get her the heck out of me. We were laughing with the nurse, and then when the doctor came back, I think 3 or 4 times, just to be like, how we doing? Let me see where the head's at. Oh, yeah, she's getting closer. We were all just laughing and chatting in between contractions, and then as a contraction would start, I would push. My ostomy did totally fine.
Yeah, what was the technique she said? Like, take a deep breath, hold it,
and, like, push from your abdomen down. Don't, like, push from your chest. And I seemed to get it right away.
You did awesome.
Yeah, I don't know. I felt like I had a lot of control over my belly. I think, thankfully, my abdominal muscles have some strength to them. Even,
you had long contractions. She said you were longer than, like, average or normal ones. You were probably going 90 seconds. No, upwards of 2 minutes plus.
Yeah. So we utilized that, and I guess normally you push for... She had me doing 8 seconds, and normally it would have been 3 times, but she had me doing it 4 times.
Yeah.
And so we just did that for about an hour and a half. And she mentioned the ring of fire, which I did sort of feel. It wasn't awful.
Yeah.
She said, you just want to kind of push through it with a contraction, and...
Yeah.
And she popped out. You watched the entire thing.
I saw it all.
He kept looking and going, oh, you're getting so close. And I kept saying, shut up, don't tell me that. I was fine with the nurse and doctor saying it, because I was like, if he's wrong, if this baby doesn't come out.
I wasn't wrong. I wasn't perfect, but I was close.
I know.
I love, like, the jokes. It's like the nurse was saying, the scariest, more because it just looks scary as if the baby's coming out face first.
This is what she did. We're like, oh. But no, she was in perfect position.
Yeah, she came out great.
Yeah, and then they put her on my chest. Like, honestly...
I cut the umbilical cord.
You did cut the umbilical cord.
Which is strange. It's kind of very rubbery, chewy. It's not like you can just do a clean cut with scissors. You got to kind of saw through it with the scissors, which caught me off guard. I wasn't expecting that. They then took the placenta out, which is just like a big... Honestly, looked like a red organ. Just plopped it on the little metal tray. Had that.
I didn't feel delivering that. I have no idea when that came out.
It's kind of cool.
Like, did I push it out? I don't know.
Yeah.
That whole day, it's so funny. During the moment, because I kept telling myself this, I was like, you are going to remember this, and I don't think you're going to have another kid. I don't think I can do this again. I don't remember the actual feeling of the pain. The day feels like a blur until she arrived. And... Now I'm like, all right, let's pop out 7 more. That was fantastic. She's fantastic.
You're a natural mom.
I love her so much.
Your body was born for this.
It's just my whole life. I didn't think that this is how it would be. I never thought I would give birth vaginally, and let alone just not need every intervention known to man to get her out. And we just did it. Like, we rocked it, and she popped out, and it was the best thing ever. They put her on my chest, and obviously I was sobbing. And I
had to update 100 different people.
Yeah. It was... You were the communicator. I
should say all throughout the day I was updating, but then I had to share with everyone. I had, like, my little tale. Like, she was born 10:39, weighed 7 pounds, 1 ounce, 19 and a half inches.
It's crazy. I can't believe it. She's so cute. It was a great day, and I didn't know the day before, had no inkling that was how our next day was going to be. So you guys were right. She was going to come when she was going to come, and I'm glad that she came before the induction. She was almost perfectly on time for her due date. She missed it by an hour and 19 minutes. you had just waited a little longer, thank you for not. So it was a great day, and that's how our day went.
And today she's celebrating her 2-week birthday with us.
Yeah. And so I know I've had so many questions about her name, and I've also had people asking to see her. And I thought I would mention it in this video. So I have gone back and forth about this throughout the entire pregnancy because I know there's a lot of stuff on social media and showing kids and whatnot. Just lots of opinions on it. And so I have gone back and forth because this feels like such a tight-knit community, and I'm so proud of what we made, and you just want to show off your baby. Like, you want to say, look at how cute she is, oh my gosh. At the same time, you want to
protect her.
You want to protect her. And so what I would like to do is show you to her now, but from this point forward, I'm really going to limit showing her. She may appear because I'm realizing, as mom, a breastfeeding mom, your baby's on you.
All the time.
Yeah, cluster feeding baby.
But you're also crushing it with the breastfeeding right now. I'm blown away.
Going really well. Look at my sweatshirt that Zach got me for Mother's Day. It's got little zippers, so I can just pop it out.
Mom's boobery.
Yep. So
2 taps open 24/7.
So anyways, I thought we would show you her.
And we thought also any video she makes an appearance in, any of the ad revenue or anything that comes in from the video is going to go right into her college account.
Yeah, we're going to give a portion of it. So you guys may know that Google AdSense on YouTube, if you ever see ads, that helps. That pays me for videos. So I want to make sure that she's, I don't know. I just feel like that's appropriate. I know that's another thing going around. That's our plan with that. Just to make sure. Zach set up her custodial account yesterday, so we're all set there.
Yep.
And yeah.
You're off to a bright future.
We'll lift her up and show you her, and I'm also going to share her first name. I'm not going to share her middle name, but I do want to share her first name because somebody on YouTube 6 months ago commented this name, and it was not one that was on either of our radars. It was not on our list of baby names.
But instantly fell in love with it, and everyone we share it with loves it.
Yes, so you want to pick her up and share?
All right, come here, sweet baby girl. Oh. Smell you, baby.
It's so cute.
Ready, girly? Come here.
So,
I can't put my feet down because we got a Hollister.
All right. So I will put the comment on the screen in just a moment.
Here we go.
There she is.
Say hi to the world, baby girl.
Do you want to share her name?
Introducing Sweet Baby Nova. So, this is Nova.
So if all the star-themed stuff throughout, she's wearing one of the Halo swaddles that one of you guys got us, which is fantastic, by the way. That might make a little more sense now. Her name is Nova because it's to honor the first baby that would have been due in November. This is what the commenter on YouTube had said. And also just a new beginning for us, a bright new beginning. And so we thought that just fit perfectly. And when I saw that comment, I added it to my list just to add it, any name. And when we found out she was a baby girl, if you saw that vlog, it was that day that we picked the name. And we were upstairs in Zach's office, and I was going through the list on my phone, and I said it out loud, and we were both like, uh-oh, did we just pick the name?
And also with the ectopic, they would have been delivered in November.
That's what I said. I already said that.
Oh, I missed that. I'm sorry. I was focused on our sweet baby girl.
I know. Yeah, but that's her name. So hopefully you guys like it. If not, keep it to yourself.
No.
Well, that's why we wanted to wait.
We wanted something unique too.
But not too unique, not too crazy out there.
And then when she gets a little older and is doing great, she's our little supernova.
Yeah, I could picture her playing soccer or something, and us, our supernova, woo!
Right, baby girl.
She's just the best, and I think she's used to loud noises because of Zach's loud voice. As you can tell, we're just talking normal, right? Yeah, you're so sweet. And she does have blonde hair, which looks like it might have a tint, might be strawberry blonde.
Yeah.
We're not sure. We shall see as time goes on, but yeah, that is baby girl Nova.
And that is her tale of how she came into the world 2 weeks ago today. Actually, at what time? 2 o'clock?
I'm just so in love with her.
We would have just been hanging out in the delivery room. Your dad would have been there for about 30, 45 minutes. We're all just catching up.
Yeah.
Now here we are today, beautiful.
And Grandpa got to hold you that night. I don't know how my dad did it. He works very early in the morning. I think his work starts at like 6 a.m. He left his job probably around 10 a.m. to get to us in the hospital, and he stayed throughout the whole thing. He left the room when I was pushing and stuff because I just wanted that to be Zach and I. But he came back to meet his granddaughter, and then he went home. Yep. Must have been after midnight. It was an hour drive.
It was like 1 a.m., I thought.
Yeah,
no,
he
for
gets
him
up
it
at
was
3.
after midnight.
He gets up at like 3 or 4 in the morning, and he went to work the next day. So I think he was excited to share pictures of her with people at work, but that's our little story. And it was the best.
Baby girl.
And it's been, we've been adjusting to our new routine, and definitely some rough nights, but some good nights. Hi, what are you doing? What are you doing?
We've been loving it, though.
It's the best. Yeah, girlfriend. Oh, yeah? I can't believe it. I can't believe it. She's here. So, all right, guys. Well.
We did it.
We did it. I love it so much. Anyways, thank you so much for watching this video. I'll probably share more about postpartum and stuff because the body is amazing, and I'm so thrilled with how my ostomy did, how my proctocolectomy incision did. I forgot to mention that I did have a tear.
Very, very small.
Minor tear.
I think it was your right side.
Yeah, right side, very superficial tear they did, some dissolvable stitches.
Yeah. But it was natural. It wasn't like a episiotomy or anything.
No,
it was just
really tiny. The doctor was ready to do an episiotomy. Zach told me he had the scissors out, ready to go, and I could hear them, so I kept asking him, are you going to cut me? Are you going to cut me? And he wouldn't answer. So.
He didn't.
He didn't, though. He didn't. It was just a tiny tear, so that worked out well. But anyways, thought I would mention that. I'll definitely talk about recovery, though, in a separate video, but it's gone really well. So, and she's done fantastic, and she's grown a lot, and we're so proud of her.
Yeah,
so
already 1 pound almost since her 1 week follow-up.
That's crazy, girl. You chonkies.
She's mama's little milk monster.
Yeah, you are. Alright, guys. Thank you so much for watching, and we will see you in the next. Bye!
Bye, guys.
Thank you so much for watching today's video. If you are looking for a way to help support my channel, consider liking this video or even subscribing. You can also check out my store at LetsTalkIBD.shop. I have stickers and hoodies like these guys over here, just related to chronic illness and inflammatory bowel disease, something fun. And I also have a coupon code for my YouTube watchers. You could also become a member of my channel like the wonderful people scrolling on screen here. They've become a member and they have access to videos a little bit earlier. It's a great way to support my channel, and really, just watching my videos means the world. Thank you so much, and I'll see you in the next.